You cannot live here without a car, period.
If you have severe allergies, spring and Roanoke might send you to the doctor.
And if you're a type A personality who needs everything done yesterday, this will drive you insane.
Today, we're going to talk about those 7 deal breakers for moving to Roanoke. And if you can't handle them, you might just be miserable. Roanoke is amazing. You know that we've built our lives here and we help people move here every single day. We love it.
But it's not for everyone. And if you're thinking of moving to the Roanoke Valley, there are some hard truths you need to hear before you pack the moving truck. These are the deal breakers nobody talks about.
Y'all, we're gonna pull back the curtain today. This isn't a video to scare you. Instead, it's a video to prepare you. Because if you can handle these 7 things, you absolutely will thrive here. But if you can't, you might just be miserable.
Welcome back to Roanoke Virginia Living. I'm Hal, this is Chris, and we're gonna give you the unfiltered truth about what it's really like to live in Roanoke, Virginia. Hey, real quick, it's Hal and Chris. If you're interested in buying or selling in Roanoke, reach out to us with the contact information on the screen.
And be sure to take the neighborhood quiz, which is in the description below, to find out what part of Roanoke is gonna be best for you. Let's get right into deal breaker number 1, the small town social scene.
First up, Roanoke feels like a big city when you look at the amenities, but it operates like a small town. That means everyone seems to know everyone.
I mean, you're gonna run into your neighbor at the grocery store, your kid's teacher at a restaurant, and your realtor at a brewery. And I mean, every time you go out.
And from a real estate perspective, this is a huge positive. It creates a strong sense of community and safety, which is why home values in established neighborhoods like South Roanoke and Grandin Village are so stable. People don't want to leave.
But if you're coming from a big metropolitan city where you love not being known by many people,
Right.
This can be a huge adjustment. There are just no secrets in Roanoke. Everyone knows everyone's business.
So therefore, it can feel a little bit cliquey if you're not prepared to put yourself out there. You have to make an effort to join groups, introduce yourself, and build your circle. It won't just fall into your lap.
Yeah, we have a great video on building community. Make sure you check that out. We had a client here move here from DC. She said the hardest part was making friends because she was used to that big social circle. Here, it took her over a year to build that. But once she did, she said it was the most genuine, supportive community she's ever been a part of.
We've actually had some of our clients, whenever they've moved here, trying to make sure that they build that community. So we've got one set of folks who created the Sight Unseen Club because they all bought their houses sight unseen. So we're able to help them do that. And they've got others that have created Facebook groups and other possibilities for them to connect virtually so they can then meet up in person.
Yeah, and our events kind of do that too. So plugging in isn't that hard, and it does create a nice community here. If you can handle like these small town vibes, that's a real positive, and that's one hurdle. But can you handle the job market? Because this next one is a deal breaker for a lot of people. The job market is very specific. Now, this is a big one. Roanoke's economy is strong, but it's not incredibly diverse. Healthcare and advanced manufacturing are the 2 giants in the valley.
For example, Caribbean Clinic is the largest employer by a huge margin. You've got over 12,000 employees regionally. Then you got HCA, Virginia Health Systems is number 6. So if you're a nurse, a doctor, healthcare professional, you're not gonna have any problem finding a job at all.
But it's not just healthcare. Teachers and first responders make up a huge part of our workforce as well. 5 different school systems are in the top 25 employers, like Roanoke City Schools, Roanoke County, Franklin County, Botetourt, and Salem City Schools.
So if you're a teacher, an administrator, or work in education, there are a lot of opportunities here. Same with first responders, police, fire, EMS. City of Roanoke, Roanoke County, and Salem are all major employers of first responders.
And another one is manufacturing. That's really big here. Companies like MW Windows and Doors, Alltech Industries. So if you're an engineer or work in advanced manufacturing, you should be able to find opportunities.
But here's the reality. If you're in a more specialized creative field, tech sales, or corporate finance, the high-paying opportunities, they're gonna be much more limited. Wells Fargo has a big operations center here, but beyond that, corporate jobs are definitely harder to find.
Yeah, we've had clients move here assuming that they would go out and find a 6-figure job pretty easily, and it was a real struggle. One couple I remember moved here from Charlotte, and the husband was in tech sales. He ended up having to take a remote job with a company based in Atlanta because there just weren't local opportunities.
While remote work is an option, the infrastructure is still catching up around here. We've got expanding broadband, especially new projects out in Botetourt and Franklin County. But you want to make sure you verify the internet speed and reliability before you buy a house, and ideally before you even put a contract or an offer on a house.
Especially if you're looking for a home with some land. We've had clients fall in love with the property, put it under contract, and then they find out the internet speed is like 10 megabytes per second. And that's a deal breaker if you're working from home full time.
That reminds me of
AOL.
dial up. So before you move here, make sure you have a job lined up or make sure you can work remotely. Don't assume you'll find something when you get here. All right, good job. You've got a job lined up, but how are you going to get to work? Because this next one is going to be a non-negotiable.
What is it? What is it?
What is it? Well, you got to own a car around here because we've got some of the most incredibly charming walkable neighborhoods like Grandin Village, Old Southwest and downtown, even South Roanoke. But the Roanoke Valley in general is very spread out. You cannot live here effectively without a car.
And let me just back up, because it's not just about owning a car, it's about being comfortable driving. We have winding roads, we have hills, we have mountains. And in the winter, you can have ice and snow in those higher elevations. I love when people visit from flatlands and they just don't realize how many hills and curves and twisty roads we may have. So just be prepared for that.
From a real estate standpoint, a house might look 5 miles from the store on a map, but that could take maybe 15, 20 minutes drive because of the steep, curvy roads you just talked about. You know, it's a major factor in your accessibility for your house as well as your resale value.
Yeah, I remember we had a client, a mom and her daughters, who moved here without a driver's license or a car. They absolutely needed a walkable area, and so they could walk to the grocery store and all those necessities. We were able to help them find a house in a walkable neighborhood, but it was really challenging because they had a lot of other desires for a house and location too.
Yeah, so that leads us to public transportation. The system around here is very limited. We do have a bus system, but it's not comprehensive. If you're used to hopping on a subway and getting anywhere in the city, that's not how it works here at all, I promise.
Yeah. So if you don't have a car or if you're not comfortable driving, this is a deal breaker. You need a car to live here. I will say bike lanes are up and coming, but they're not quite.
Yeah, definitely improving. They are out there, but yeah, public transportation system's not where it needs to be. Now, quick note before we keep moving along here, if you're watching this and you're serious about moving to Roanoke in the next 6 to 12 months, we need to talk.
Yeah, the housing market here is normalizing, but well-priced homes in the $300,000 to $450,000 range can get multiple offers. Having a local expert who knows which neighborhoods are competitive and which ones have room to negotiate is the difference between getting into your dream home and missing out.
That's right. Our contact info is in the description below. Call us, text us, or shoot us an email. We'd love to help you navigate that move.
Okay, let's keep going. Deal breaker number 4 is shopping and dining scene. That's growing, but it hasn't grown.
Not to its full capacity.
Yeah, the food scene in Roanoke is exploding with these incredible local independent restaurants. We have an amazing chefs and unique concepts. I like that.
But if you're moving from a major metropolitan area and you expect to have Cheesecake Factory, Whole Foods on every corner, and 3 different Trader Joe's to choose from, you need to adjust your expectations.
Yeah, we have the essentials and we're getting more options. We have an Earth Fair for organic and natural foods, and we're getting a Publix and a Wawa. They're being built right now, but we don't have the sheer volume of high-end retail or niche grocery stores that a city of like, I don't know, 1 million people would have.
So it's a trade-off. You get amazing local gems, but you might miss some of your old national standbys.
Yeah, as an example, we don't have a Trader Joe's and we don't have a Whole Foods, but if you're used to shopping at those stores every week, you're gonna have to adjust to Kroger, Publix, Earth Fair, Fresh Market.
But the upside is the local restaurant scene is incredible, and I love food. We have some of the best farm-to-table restaurants in Virginia.
I would say places like Scratch Biscuit Company for an amazing breakfast, Mama Jean's Barbecue for authentic barbecue, Six and Sky for upscale dining, Billy's is one of my favorites for classic comfort food. You've got Village Grill in Grandin Village. That's a neighborhood favorite.
And we have an incredible international food truck scene. We've got Thai, Mexican, Mediterranean, Vietnamese, super diverse, and very much delicioso.
Plus, I mean, we have to give a huge shout out to those seasonal farmers and the farmers market. They're all over the valley, including the historic downtown Roanoke Farmers Market. If you like craft beer too, we have a great selection in Old Salem, Parkway Brewing, Big Lick Brewing, and Twisted Track.
So it's not about the quantity of options, it's all about the quality.
Yeah.
And the quality here is outstanding. Because it's a smaller city, you can actually get to know the chefs and owners. So it's much more personal experience, which we really like.
Yeah, I think overall, if you're a foodie who loves discovering local spots, you're gonna like it here. But if you need those national chains, you might be a little disappointed.
Okay, so you can handle the shopping and dining scene, but can you handle the pace of life? Because this next one is the biggest culture shock for most people. Because the pace of life is slow. This is probably the biggest culture shock for people moving from places like Northern Virginia or New York, because the pace of life here is intentionally slower and we need everything.
In general, people aren't in a frantic rush. That's why, I mean, it's like a huge positive for your quality of life, but it can be frustrating where you're trying to get things done.
So getting a contractor to call you back could take a week. Making plans with new friends might be for sometime next month. It's not a lack of interest, it's just a different rhythm than what you might be used to. Even the drivers can be slow as molasses.
You love that one.
Yeah.
We had a client from DC who was used to everything happening immediately. So she'd text someone and expect a response in 5 minutes. Here, it might take a day or two. She said it drove her crazy for the first 6 months.
Guess what? You can't fight it. You just can't. You got to embrace it. So if you're a type A personality who needs everything done yesterday, this will be a daily struggle for you until you get into the slower pace of life.
I'm still working on it. But here's the flip side. Once you adjust, it's amazing. You're not constantly stressed. You have time to actually enjoy your life. You can sit on the porch, watch the sunset without feeling guilty that you're not doing something productive. And like I said, I'm working on this. I'm from here, but it's still hard for my personality.
Yeah, definitely a mindset shift. And if you can make that shift, your quality of life will skyrocket.
So let's say you can handle the slower pace, no problem, but can you handle the outdoors? Because the next one is a reality check. This is the wild outdoors. Everyone's drawn to Roanoke for the stunning natural beauty. You know, we've got the Blue Ridge Parkway in our backyard, but you have to remember, this is like the real outdoors. It's not this perfectly manicured city park.
That means humidity in the summer. It means bugs. It means a massive amount of pollen in the spring. If you have allergies, be prepared.
The pollen is no joke. And in the spring, everything's covered with this yellow-green dust, like your car, the porch, the windows. If you have seasonal allergies, you need a lot of medication during this time, or local honey if that works for you.
And the weather in the mountains can also change in an instant, like on a dime, right? It can be sunny in the city, foggy and cold up on the parkway. You got to be prepared for any and all circumstances.
Yeah, and I would say from a real estate perspective, a house that backs up to the woods is amazing for privacy, but it also means you'll have more critters and leaves to rake and potentially more moisture.
We've got clients who have bought a house on a wooded lot, then were surprised when they had deer eating their garden or a bear on their porch. That's the reality of living close to nature.
Yeah, it's just a lifestyle choice. You're choosing to live closer to nature with all the beauty and the challenges that come with it.
All right, so last one, and this is the biggest paradox about Roanoke. It's the reason most people move here, but it's also the biggest source of confusion. This is the housing market paradox, where we've got, you know, talking about number one reason people are moving here is the affordable cost of living, right? And housing is a big part of that. So your money goes a lot further here than in most all of the country.
The median sold price in the Roanoke Valley is $310,000 as of December 2025. Compare that to DC at $650,000 or San Francisco at over $1 million. It's a huge difference.
But here's the reality, because the market is normalizing right now. After the frenzy of the early 2020s up to like 2023, the number of homes available is increasing. So we're at about 1,300 homes available each day, which is up 66% from last year. And that's good news for buyers.
Yeah, and homes are taking longer to sell. That's a far cry from the sold in 24 hours market we had just a few years ago. Buyers now have more time to make a decision.
So here's the interesting part. Well-priced homes in the $300,000 to $450,000 range can still get multiple offers, especially if they're in great condition, desirable neighborhoods. The average sold price for those is around $390,000. So there's definitely activity in that range.
We're seeing 437 homes sold in December, which is up 13% from last year. So the market is active, but if you're buying above $450,000 or in less competitive neighborhoods, you have more negotiating power.
And with 328 new listings added in December, which is up 6% from last year, and 301 homes under contract, Market is finding its balance. There's room to negotiate if you find a home that's been sitting on the market for a while.
So it's affordable, but it's not a free-for-all. You need to be prepared to act on great homes, but you don't need to panic. The market is finding its balance.
And that's where having a local expert like us, who knows which neighborhoods are competitive and which ones have more room to negotiate, makes all the difference. So there you have it, the 7 deal breakers for moving to Roanoke.
It's a city with a small town heart, a specific job market, and a housing market that's finding its balance.
And if you can embrace the slower pace, if you're ready to build a community, and if you come prepared for the realities of the market, you'll discover what we already know. This is one of the best places to live in the entire country to build a life.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
It is.
Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, I can handle all of that, I'm ready to move to Roanoke, here's what you need to do next.
Call us. Seriously, because the housing market is normalizing, but you still need a local expert who knows which neighborhoods are competitive, which homes are overpriced, and how to negotiate in this specific market.
Yeah, y'all, we've helped hundreds of families move to the Roanoke Valley, and we know how to navigate the market, whether you're buying in a competitive price range or you have more negotiating power.
Our phone number, email, website, and all of that information you need to get in touch with us are in the description below. So give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Let's set up a time to talk about your move, your timeline, and your goals.
Yeah, we're gonna walk you through the entire process from finding the right neighborhood to closing on your dream home. And we'll make sure you're prepared for the realities of the market so you don't have to waste your time or your money.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you next time.